What's going on, everybody? It's Bill Bailey with today's Boondoggle on Domain Cleveland Radio. And today I have the pleasure of speaking across the globe to our friends in the band Venues, Robin and Lela. How you doing?
Hey,
Hi.
awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, all good over here.
Good, good. Oh, hold on. Getting pop-ups. Hate when that happens. But so anyway, I wanted to ask you guys, like, first off, like, how's everything going over there? And you guys are in Germany, correct?
Yeah, correct.
And how's everything been going over there in regards to, like, the lockdowns and all the crazy stuff that we've been dealing with?
Yeah, we still have. Are we officially still in lockdown, Lela? I think so, right?
Not really. All the
Not
shops are
really?
open again.
Yeah, shops are open again. I mean, it really depends from city to city. But in the city where we are from, like Stuttgart in the southwest of Germany, you are allowed again to sit in bars and restaurants and stuff like this. I think you have to wear a mask if you move from table to table, but when you sit down on a table, you can take it off. And yeah, actually, we started playing shows again.
Okay,
But yeah,
great.
with some special rules here and there. We played a festival, I think 2 weeks ago, where everyone was allowed to run around and start a mosh pit and everything, but yeah, wearing a mask. So this was awesome.
That's great.
Um,
That's great.
But yeah, I think last week we played a kind of a weird show where everyone had to sit down on a table and wasn't allowed to stand up and yeah, run around or something. The show was awesome though, but felt a little bit strange.
Yeah, yeah. Are they allowed to clap, or they got to like wave a flag or something?
Yeah, that's allowed, but they are not allowed to stand up because securities were watching all the time. But yeah, right now it looks pretty good, I'd say, over here in Germany. If the numbers stay this low, it feels like that bigger festivals are about to come back, like with special rules. But yeah, it's still about to happen. So fingers crossed.
Yeah, yeah. We've things are looking good over here too, and we have like a bunch of festivals like coming up next month. But then now they're talking about these variants and pushing the vaccine passports and all that crazy stuff. So who knows what's going to happen? I'm keeping fingers crossed that we'll be able to get back to enjoying music again together, and like we used to.
Yeah, totally.
But usually when I have guests on for the first time, I like to ask, get a little bit of a background on the artist. So, like originally, what did you guys want to be when you grew up?
Well, I always wanted to be a singer when I was a child. So yeah, I guess I'm on a good way.
You are a singer. So
Yes, I
goal
am.
achieved.
Yeah, not really. I hope to make a living out of it sooner or later.
All right.
And how about yourself, Robin?
Oh, good question. I think I've never been like a typical kid with the big dream to become like something special, like an astronaut or firefighter or whatever. I think I just always wanted to enjoy my life and have enough time to do whatever I want and play a lot of video games.
And then when was it when you guys like first discovered music and knew that was something that you wanted to pursue?
Oh, for me, music has always been a big part of my life since my whole family is pretty musical, and my grandpa even owns a music school. So yeah, it was pretty clear that that was what I wanted to do when I grew up. I had my first show, well, in a church when I was 7. So
Cool.
Cool. And what about you, Robin?
Yeah, for me, I think it was back in 1998 when The Offspring released their record Americana. Back then I was 10 years old, and this was the first CD I ever bought because of the cover. and I really liked it. And yeah, I mean, I was a kid and I put the CD in my CD player, and it was like awesome. And it was something completely new to me because I just bought the record because of the cover artwork. So I had no idea what kind of music it was. And I think this was the start for me to get into like punk rock music. And I think a few years later, I discovered Linkin Park with the first record. And yeah, I think that was the moment when I really got into the music scene, and I really wanted to be on the stage on my own someday. And yeah, I think
Cool. And
these
then,
were the early days.
like in high school or stuff, did you start hanging out with like-minded people and start like bands in high school and stuff like that?
I did actually, yeah. With some friends of mine, we started like the first band, but we never played a show or anything. It was always like only a rehearsal room band. Yeah, but I think these were like in 2006 or something, 2007, maybe around this time. Yeah, but the band never made it pretty far. But fun fact is that our guitar player, Mariusz Milinski, he's nowadays the guy who is shooting all the venues music videos. So I'm glad that we're still working together.
Ah, that's awesome. And then how about you, Lela?
I started my first band. I think it was when I was 13 years old. Yeah, and I went through maybe 4 or 5 bands until I reached the age of 18, 19. Yeah, so I was experimenting a lot with music and band stuff.
Cool. So like I know you guys are probably tired of telling this story, but if you could give the virtual audience of mine, like, the story of like the early founding of venues, and then how the lovely Lela came into be a part of the band.
Yeah, the Lela story is actually pretty good. But yeah, the early days of venues and the founding, it's kind of tricky because the project of this band goes back, I think maybe to 2011 or something, or maybe even earlier, but with a different name and everything. I joined the project in early 2014, and even then it was like a completely different project with different members, and we had a different name back then. So we decided for ourselves that the real founding year was 2015, because this was the year where we decided to do that kind of music that we do nowadays, and where we recorded the first 3 songs that we ever did and released 1 music video for them. So yeah, this, for me, I think 2015 were the early days. And back then we already had Konstantin and Dennis on the drums in our band. Konstantin's our main songwriter and lead guitarist. Yeah, and with me. And later on, we had Valentin and Lela join the band. Lela joined in early 2019, and Valentin, our new guitar player, in late 2019. And yeah, it was a funny story how we found Lela, because our old singer left the band a few weeks before we wanted to play a tour with our friends, our Mirage. So it was kind of tricky. It was due to health reasons and a few personal reasons. But yeah, there was no bad blood at all or anything like this. And then we started looking for a new singer. And yeah, maybe Lela can recall the story, how Konstantin found her.
Yeah. Well, I met Konstantin for the first time in, I'm not sure what year it was, maybe 2016, I guess. Yeah. On a Steel Panther show where I was, where I got the chance to sing on stage with Steel Panther. And Konstantin, he was in the crowd and watching the concert, and he filmed the whole thing with his mobile phone. And after the show, we met somewhere in the crowd and talked to each other. And I gave him my number so that he can send me the video of me singing on stage with Steel Panther, because, of course, I wanted to see it. And yeah, that's how we got in contact. And about 2.5 years later, I read the post on Facebook that the old singer left the band, and I talked to Konstantin again. So he invited me to a rehearsal, and I went there, and yeah, everything worked out pretty well.
Yeah, wow. I didn't realize that, like, when I read the story, I didn't realize there was such a gap in time from when he recorded you singing with Steel Panther to when you finally came into the band. I thought it kind of was just like, oh, I just discovered our new singer recently after the, I thought it was closer in time. So that's cool that
No,
you
it was,
guys are
yeah.
connected and stayed in touch then.
Yeah, not really. Just he showed me his band back then, and I heard of venues for the first time in 2016, and yeah, we didn't really stay in contact, but we knew who the other one was. So,
And then
but
when that
nothing more.
opening came online, you were like, hey, remember me?
Yeah, yeah, somehow like that. Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool. So I want to talk about the band's like growth and your like transition going from the last album, Aspire, to the current one, Solace.
Yeah, I mean, in general, I think for this record, we all decided to get a little bit heavier. Maybe cut out a few of the pop elements, even though we are still poppy, but add more metal parts, metal elements to our music. And I mean, recording and producing Solace this time was totally different, because back then when we started working on Aspire, nobody of us had an idea how to produce, create, and just finish a record at all. So we just tried our best and checked, and we're hoping for the best. And in the end, we were pretty happy with the result. But we had a few lucky shots. We worked together with a great producer. As already said, we were doing all the music videos with Mario Smilinski, old friend of mine, and the outcome was just great. So for this time, we had like way more experience when it comes to the whole production process. We knew how everything would work, like going to the studio, being there for 2 weeks, how you start recording songs, and working together with a producer. Yeah. Also, when it comes to songwriting, I think we had way more experience this time, and we knew how to write good songs. Hopefully, stuff like this. So I think we are also matured when it comes to our sound and style. Like even on Aspire, we just did what we want to do and hope for the best. And this time we had like a clear vision of how we want everything to sound, and had more like a red line going through all the songs. So I think that's it in general.
And you guys have had time to like gel more and become like a cohesive unit working on it this time, correct?
Not really, because of the lockdown, actually. But yeah, in general, yes. But we weren't able to really meet in person and jam around in the rehearsal room, unfortunately. So because we started songwriting during the first lockdown, so everybody was writing their parts of the songs at home and recording ideas and sent them over to the next one. But although it worked out pretty good, I'd say it worked out awesome. In the end of the first or second lockdown, I'm not sure. We were able to meet in person again, so we then went all together to the rehearsal room and listened to the songs and talked about different ideas and styles. So
Like, how separate are you guys, like living distance wise, that you couldn't like travel or whatever and get together?
Well, I guess we about 50 kilometers apart. So in general, so I think
Yeah.
I'm the farthest from the rehearsal room, or maybe Dennis.
Really? How long do you drive, Lela?
40 minutes.
Yeah. I think Dennis also our drummer.
Mm.
I think we all live like the rehearsal room is like our main center where we always
Yeah.
meet. And yeah, I think now I live away 50 minutes from it, something like this. And yeah, we are all more or less like in this time frame. So we are right now we are closer than ever because I recently moved to Stuttgart. Before this, I was the one who lived farthest away. Yeah, so I think we're pretty close because nowadays I see a lot of bands who really live in like total different cities and only do some rehearsals before they go on tour or something. And I think we are in this view we are more like a classical band who is like doing rehearsals every week. Yeah. Not sure
Okay.
if the modern bands really do this still today, but we do.
Yeah, I know so many in the States that do like what you guys were having to do during the lockdown and just like record and send and then, piece it everybody's parts together and stuff. And,
Yeah.
it's definitely now that things have opened up, you guys got shows on the horizon. I guess you've been spending a lot more time together, so that's good. Talk about like the inspiration or what's like the main message you guys are trying to send out with Solace.
Well, I'd say the red line that goes through all of the songs is always about somehow closing chapters and opening new chapters, burning bridges, moving on, leaving stuff behind that no longer suits you. And this really came while writing the songs. That was not a vision that we had right from the start, but it came during the writing process. But I think this is also the main message that we want to tell with the songs and the album, that it's always so important to get to the point where you can move on and just leave things behind and find solace in would be best to find it within yourself and maybe through music. So music helps.
Yeah, I was reading in the press release. It reads 10 songs, 10 exorcism of negative energy, 10 lifesavers. So you want to elaborate on that a little bit?
Yeah, I think like Lela said, Solace is really the result of all our personal experiences during the last 1.5 years, I'd say. Every one of us was going through rough times, and also because of COVID, because I think 2 or 3 of us were working in the music industry. Our drummer Dennis, he really had a hard time because he was working as a drum teacher, and the school was closed. I'm working at the music label, and I think Lela also lost his job because of COVID. So there was like a lot of frustration, and I mean, there was like no playing shows for us, and if you're really putting so much energy and effort into a band project, and when you see that there's like no outcome and no way to play your songs live and stuff like this all gets pretty frustrated really fast. And so we were all going through hard times, also on the personal side with like the ending of relationships and stuff like this. So working on this record really helped us a lot, because it was like always something that we had to look forward to. Just if it's writing songs or thinking about the production process, already talking about the music video concepts. This was all pretty cool stuff and
Kept
positive
us
stuff for
busy.
us. Yeah, it kept us busy. And
Like a group therapy session, get together and create, right? And forget
Yeah,
about
kind
yeah,
of.
totally.
vent, get all the negativity out.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So yeah, this record really became our personal solace during a hard time, and that's also why we decided to choose this title. And we really hope that yeah, it will be solace for maybe our listeners, hopefully. That the songs
Yeah,
will give
definitely.
them power to keep on going, keep on fighting. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to hear more about the track Rite of Passage and why it's like one that you feel people will connect to personally.
Yeah, Rite of Passage was a pretty personal song when we wrote it. It's about the relationship between a father and child. And obviously, if you look at the lyrics, not a really good father who did like no good job, and about the process to to just maybe accept it like this, that the relationship is like it is, and to just um, move on and let it be as it is, and that it's okay.
Yeah, I'm a father myself. I got two daughters, and you know, I know I always haven't always been the best, and I think I looked at the lockdown as an opportunity to reconnect with my daughters and try and be, do a better job. And been learning so much through the time. I mean, we finally had to slow down. We're so used to like going and going and multitasking and this and that, and it's like we were forced to slow down, and it was kind of turned it into a blessing, to be able to like reconnect those relationships and do a better job. And so far me and my girls have come out better on the other side. So um I definitely connected to hearing that too, and taking a look at myself and who I was and who I don't want to be anymore and stuff as a father. So good stuff,
Yeah.
man.
Cool. That's great to
Awesome.
hear.
Yeah.
Especially like hearing this from a father and that not from a child who's maybe disappointed from his or her father. Pretty interesting.
Thanks.
Cool.
And I also wanted to mention, it seems like when I was watching through your guys' videos, you guys like are literally spilling your guts in a few of your music videos. You want to tell a little bit about that story?
Yeah, sure. Well, Robin came up with the idea to shoot some pretty special music videos and not only performance shots or lyric videos or stuff like that. And so we talked to Marius Medinsky, who already did every venue's music video in the past. And we wanted to give him total free hand. So, because we know that his work is awesome, he does an awesome job in music, filming music videos and producing them. So yeah, we wanted to give him free hand. We gave him all the songs, and he came up with the idea of a story that starts with the first and ends with a fifth video that which wasn't sure in the first place, but yeah, in the end, it ended with a fifth video. And yes, he told us about the zombie story, love story, horror. I'm not sure what exactly it is, to be honest, but somehow some kind of a zombie story. And we were all on fire, and we're totally okay with his idea. And so we just drove there and yeah, got into the how's it called, the mask, and yeah, slipped into our roles and played the roles and did what Marius was telling us.
Yeah. This time
All
we
right.
had a really easy job shooting the music videos because usually we organized everything on our own and taking care of scouting locations, writing concepts, stuff like this. And this time we really said everything can be done and handled by Marius. And he really did an awesome job. So in the end, we just had to drive to the location and do what Marius told us to do. and try to look scary or sexy or whatever, and yeah, look good in the camera.
Yeah, the cinematography was like really good. I mean, and the special effects and all that stuff. So I enjoyed it for sure.
Awesome.
And like, what personal goals do you guys have, or have you had for yourself that you've been able to attain since getting into music and stuff?
Well, I always wanted to release an album. So since Solace is the first one, I now reached the first of my goals. Well, in 3 weeks, I reached it. Not yet.
Yeah, I think for me the biggest goals, or still my main motivation for being in a band, is to play as many live shows as possible, or maybe playing live shows at all, big festivals or some cool tours with other great bands. And yeah, I think we already achieved a little bit of this. But yeah, I just hope that it keeps going and that we keep playing cool festivals and cool tours.
Yeah. So like, what goals do you guys have going forward with this album and everything, or from this album?
Going on tour would be so awesome. And hopefully, when all this pandemic stuff ends, we will maybe go on a US tour. Who knows? Would be totally, absolutely awesome. Just, yeah. I'd love to see the world while making music.
Yeah, I mean, especially discovering foreign countries because of the band. That's awesome. We would have played a big festival in Russia actually a few weeks ago, but unfortunately it got what's it called in English again? Variants territory.
The Delta mutants
Yeah.
thing.
And then the whole festival got cancelled. So unfortunately, we didn't play Russia yet, but hopefully we will do next year. And next week we will play a big festival in Czech Republic. So it's pretty cool for us Germans to travel around Europe and visit all the neighbor countries.
It's kind of becoming international, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we definitely love to have you guys over here too in the States. I live up in Cleveland by the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So you guys would have to visit if you come through.
All right. Yeah, we will put it on the to-do list, definitely.
And then what's something that you can improve or learn from?
What we can learn from? Well, I guess what I learned from writing this album and playing with a band for 2 years now is that I don't have to stress myself out about my voice and my performance, because if I keep it simple and just relax and feel what I'm doing at the moment, it's always better than stressing out.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, what I learned, I'd say when it comes to writing lyrics, being way more honest and really putting a piece of yourself into the songs is usually a great way, not only to make the songs better, but also to give them a direct connection to yourself. This is something I didn't really do on Aspire, but I did it on Solace, and yeah, now it's great for me because I really connect to the songs even more because they are part of me.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely feel that. I'm in recovery, and I've got like 12 years sober and stuff. So I noticed a lot of my tightest friends are the people that I'm able to be like transparent, and vulnerable with, and that's when so much like not only personal growth and healing happened for me, but also just that connection, because you're not, you think in your head you're like unique, and your problems are special and stuff, but no, other people are dealing with the same things, and that brings you together and definitely connects you. And if you can do that with your audience, man, you'll have fans for life for sure. You know?
Totally.
Yeah.
I mean, that's it. We already got a few, or saw a few fans of us with tattooed venue stuff on their skin, and we were like, wow, okay, that's crazy.
Nice. And then is there a track on the new album that you guys are looking forward to the most, being able to play live in front of an audience?
Absolutely. For me, this is Swalagali, and we already played that song live 2 times. So the first time was on the festival that Robin talked about earlier, where the people were able to party and run around and start a mosh pit and stuff. And it was so much fun playing this song live. I even climbed the tower of the stage tower, at one part of the song, and it's so energetic. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Nice. How about you, Robin?
For me, it's also Swalagali. It's just a real energy bomb, and everyone's running around on stage, and also hopefully in front of the stage. So playing this one, it's just fun. I love it.
Great. And then do you guys have any particular like superstitions or anything before performing a show? Like, do you have to make sure your shoestrings are tied a certain way, or you know, wear like a lucky charm in your pocket or anything like that?
Actually, I do have a little piece of paper with some words on it, but I won't tell what exactly is written on the paper. But this piece of paper I carry in my bag on every show. Yeah,
Nice.
and I feel like this helps me. I don't know if it really does, but it gives me a good feeling, so I continue taking it with me on stage.
I know what's written on it. Robin is awesome.
Yeah, exactly. That's what gives me strength.
And what about you, Robin? You have like a ritual or something that you like to do before playing live?
Not really. Maybe it's not really a ritual. Maybe more like some healthy things I try to do before playing a show, and that's getting enough sleep, which is pretty important for me. At least it feels like, and also not eating any hot and spicy stuff, because I think it really fucks up my throat.
Oh,
So,
yeah, for sure. You can't do much running around with acid indigestion and all that either.
Totally.
Yeah.
But well, yeah, I mean, since the last shows, we have established a ritual now. I think we always do a little schnapps shot. So
Yeah.
and Lela's usually always bringing some gross fruit schnapps like melon or
Oh, we had
peach or whatever.
Fireball. I guess you know Fireball.
This was the
right?
worst. This was the worst one we had so far.
Yeah.
It really
Do you know
burned my
that
throat.
it's like a cinnamon, schnapps.
Yeah, that's almost like eating that spicy food you're talking about, though, ain't it?
Yeah, but
not good.
drinking that one just seconds before hitting the stage, I feel like it's clearing my throat, and it's does a good job for a singing voice.
Good.
Maybe.
Well, that's all that matters, right?
Yeah.
And then, like, I want to ask you guys some of the questions I normally ask guests when I have on here. Who are your guys' like top 3 musical artists?
Like bands or
Yeah,
people?
bands that have inspired you or people.
Okay. Of all time?
Yeah. Like your
Ooh.
personal ones.
Okay, first one for me is Janis Joplin, because I was a great fan even as a child. Well, maybe Steven Tyler was a guy I was looking up to when I was growing up. Yeah, while growing up. But now You said 3, right?
Yeah, 3.
It's hard to choose. There are so many. What
What's the
about you,
last one
Robin?
you listened to?
The last one, well, my current absolute inspiration is Sleep Token. I'm digging the band. Yeah, listening to all of their songs over and over again, and they keep on releasing new stuff. So I'm totally hyped. Sleep Token is absolutely awesome.
Sweet. What about
Yeah,
you, Robin?
for me, there are definitely 3 bands, which I was listening a lot to when I was in a special phase in my life. I think the first one is Sum 41, who really brought me into this kind of punk rock, maybe more college punk music, which was pretty important for me, especially when they released their record Chuck, because it was a way more darker and sad record. The next band is definitely My Chemical Romance. It's like an all-time favorite band of mine. Loving like every song of them. And the third one I'd say is Taking Back Sunday, because they are just like masterminds when it comes to writing super emotional and touching and catchy songs.
Sweet. And then speaking of like touchy special songs, is there a particular song that you feel has inspired you in life that that's like a go-to whenever you're going through a rough time, you can always put on and helps kind of lift your mood?
I think there are many songs, many Queen songs that always lift me up, like "Don't Stop Me Now," for example. It's an all-time, mood shifting one. But I wouldn't listen to it when I'm sad. So it just makes me feel even better when I'm already feeling good.
How about you, Robin?
For me, I mean, I have a special song, but it's not really one who's lifting me up. It's like more a song to, not sure, maybe finding to myself or something if I'm sad. And this is from the band Funeral for a Friend with the song History, which really speaks to me. And I just connected a lot of memories of a special time with the song. So
Okay.
that's my all-time favorite.
Cool. And then 3 people who've inspired you or you can credit for making you the person you are today.
My grandma, absolutely. I learned so much from her. Then I'd say Janis Joplin, like I said before. It's hard to find 3 persons because I think everyone you met in your life so far just made you the person you are today.
Yeah, it's always hard to narrow down to that last one, you know?
Yeah, it
I
is.
feel like you leave
Absolutely.
something out.
Hmm. Do you know your 3, Robin?
I'd say definitely my mother. For always letting me do what I want to, which was awesome because this is why I ended up doing music stuff and just having a good time in my life. Then I'd say Garrett Way, like singer of My Chemical Romance, for turning me into an emo boy. And also Chris Priest, who is or was the shouter of the US Boston band Venna, because I think he was the vocalist who inspired me to start shouting and doing extreme vocals and stuff like this. So I think I wouldn't have started all that stuff without him.
Cool. And then any causes or organizations that you guys support and encourage others to check out?
Well, I've been supporting Sea Shepherd for a while, so Sea Shepherd is definitely worth supporting.
Do you mind telling us a little bit more about like what that organization is and what it does?
Okay. I thought you knew them. Sea Shepherd
No.
is a it's hard to tell that in English. So it's an organization to protect the seas, and they give me the English words for that. They take care, not really take care, but they try to take care of and stop fish hunting. Like
Okay. Yeah.
maybe you know what I mean.
Yeah. Like, going after like the wildlife and the what, like hunting whales and stuff like that, or
Exactly, yeah.
yeah. Okay.
And slaughtering dolphins and stuff like that, and they try to stop that.
Okay, great. And then Robin, do you have a organization that you support or encourage others to check out?
Yeah, I'd say also Sea Shepherd that Lela just talked about. But in general, I would say like every vegan community or organization or whatever raises awareness of starting a vegan lifestyle, because I think this is a great way to live a life without exploiting animals in any way, and it's really good for the planet.
Gotcha. And then this is one of my favorites to ask. It takes everybody back to their childhood, but favorite toy as a child?
Ooh, that's a good question. Well, I always had how is this called? Töpfe, Robin. What's the English word? Kochtopf.
Pot,
Pot.
kettle.
Yeah. Okay, so a cooking pot, just turned upside down and using it as a drum kit.
Nice. Okay. What about you, Robin?
Yeah, that's a pretty hard question for me, because I had like so many toys when I was young. I was a young kid, but I think my favorite toys were I had a huge army of soldiers with tanks and everything, and I was playing for hours, for weeks in my cellar, and just playing war with different armies and stuff like this. I think they were my favorite toys.
Yeah. So for like the virtual audience and the people here in the States that may be learning about you guys for the first time and they want to look more into the band or support you guys like through like merchandise or anything like that, or when the new album drops, like where would you recommend they go to check you out?
First of all, I have to say thank you to all our fans from the US, because we already sent over a few merch packages to the US already, which is great. And if I check our streaming insights, I also see that we have a lot of many listeners from the US, which is awesome. So thank you very much. And if you want to support us, I'd say just check out our online store where we sell a lot of merch. It's venues.bigcartel, or what was the URL, Lela?
Yeah, I think bigcartel.com. But maybe it's easier to head over to our Instagram page and click the link in our bio, because there you have all the different sites linked below. So.
Yeah, and I think we have a landing page like linked everywhere. So just check us out on any social media platform that you want to, or even Spotify. And we have for this record a limited vinyl, which looks pretty awesome. It's black blue marbled, very sexy. and they are limited to 500, I think. And yeah, so just go there and maybe pre-order one, because this helps us a lot and it will look awesome in your room.
Sweet. And then also I recommend checking out your guys' YouTube channel and watching those videos because that we talked about. A lot
Of
of good
course.
stuff there. And then the album comes out in a couple weeks, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah.
27th of August.
And they can pre-order that through like Big Cartel and stuff too, or?
Not on Big Cartel, but everywhere else. We have a big pre-order action going on with Impericon, which is like a big merch shop where we have like special bundles, and you can also go to Amazon.com or EMP, like all the big retailers.
iTunes.
Yeah, or iTunes, Spotify, Amazon Music, whatever. Should be everywhere. And if you're really looking, or if you have any question, just write us a message and we will come back to you.
Awesome. Hey, well, thank you guys for your time. I really appreciate checking in over there, see how everybody's doing. And I hope, things continue to open up for you, get out and play some more shows over there and eventually make it over here.
Fingers
Hopefully,
crossed.
man.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you very much for the invitation.
Yeah, no problem. You guys take care.
You
We
too.
will.
Thanks.
Take care, man. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.